Howdy, everybody. What's up? It's Monotone Football here. I'm going to take you through some of my series bets. So, I've already posted two on Twitter, and I'm going to talk through those two. And then I'm going to talk about a couple other ones that I want to walk you guys through, tell you why I'm interested in it, tell you the correct unit amount that I'm putting on it. And yeah, I just felt like it'd be best to explain it like this. So, we're going to start out with what I've already done, which is Portland Trail Blazers at the Denver Nuggets. Posted this earlier, or I guess yesterday. And it was at minus 110. It's at minus 132. It's still at minus 122 on DraftKings. You might be able to even find a better number. So we are seeing some line movement in our direction, which is a good sign. But this is probably my most one of my favorites, honestly. The Nuggets team was one that I thought could go all the way at one point earlier this year, especially with after they made those trade deadline moves. They had a healthy Murray, Jokic playing at an MVP level, and then adding Aaron Gordon. I felt like all the stars were aligning, but since then we've really taken a fall with losing Murray, losing Barden. So now we don't even know if Austin Rivers is going to be able to play point guard for them due to, like, I just saw it on Fantasy Labs earlier. So it's we're kind of in a bad place. And meanwhile, Portland is kind of in the complete opposite trajectory. They've won 7 of their 9 games to end the season this month. And Dame finally is out of his midseason slump. I mean, earlier in the year, he's averaging around 28. He dropped that to almost like 22 for a couple weeks in the middle of the season. But coming alive at the right time is exactly the most important thing in basketball, and that's what he's done. He's really turned it around, hit that 30-point mark multiple times to end the season. Also, we have healthy Nurkic, which is something we haven't had in a long time, so we don't have to worry about Cantor being the primary guy going against Embiid. We have someone a little bit more formidable. So I feel like everything just kind of lined at the right time, and I'm loving this one. So this one was my one unit play. So moving on to Atlanta and New York, that is the first one I posted for 1.5 units, and I just honestly can't see New York losing this. I mean, this is kind of their year. Everybody knows that, but they're playing great basketball with a healthy team. Their rotations are looking stronger than ever, with Derrick Rose having an amazing second half and even pulling ahead as a possibility to win sixth man of the year out of nowhere. Kind of looked like Clarkson had a lockdown. He still may, but D Rose had an incredible ending to the season. I had this line more around minus 150-ish. I don't think Atlanta is on the same coaching level as what Tibbs kind of has done to this Knicks team. They play hard. They're used to playing these big minutes. The Hawks aren't. The Hawks did turn it around with their coaching change midseason. They've had a great end to the year. But honestly, I just don't think the Hawks are ready for this Knicks defense that is perfectly ready to kind of put them down. Their perimeter defense is amazing. It's going to give guys like Trae Young, Bogdan, Herder, all these guys a lot of challenges. And it's just a really tough matchup for anyone. But yeah, I'm going with the Knicks right here. So now to something that I haven't talked about yet. So this will be my first time talking about it. This should be the other way around. The Suns are the higher seed. Lakers should have to play a play-in game to get here. I know LeBron James, one of the best basketball players ever, if not the best. Anthony Davis might be in that conversation by the end of his career, but come on, man. Like, look at the team performances this year. It feels like it shouldn't. Like, I'm just a little shocked, honestly, that we're seeing this line. I think the Suns are the better team. They're going to have the coach of the year once that's announced in a couple days. I mean, this team has played great defense all year. They've played great basketball all year, and they added Chris Paul, who's had an amazing impact on them and really turned this team around. So if you're feeling a little riskier, you can go for this plus 136. But something that FanDuel actually is offering is the series spread right here. So you can get this at plus 1.5. So what I think I'm going to be doing is I think I'm going to be going half unit there and then the other half unit on the plus 136. I think the Suns win this outright, to be honest. But if not, if we go all the way, we still win it right here. If we play a full series, we still win the bet right here at the plus 1.5. I don't think we should be getting that number, honestly. I think, like I said, I mean, I've said it a bunch of times, I think the Suns win this series. I think they outlast the Lakers. It's hard to even say if Anthony Davis and LeBron James can make it through a series playing 40-plus minutes every day, because when they come off the court, it's just kind of a mess. So they're going to have to be playing from that 40 to 42 range. Well, we've got a lot more youth on the side of Phoenix. There is some, Booker's a younger guy, but CP3 is there to really guide the ship. He's the captain. And I think he's going to have a huge impact on the series. And I think unfortunately for fan favorites and all the guys that are coming here hammering these Lakers numbers, I think the Suns are going to win this one and take our fan favorite and possibly great viewership numbers out the door with them in the first round. There are some very interesting other spots in here, especially I'm a Wizards fan. I have some futures laid down. The playoff future already cashed, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to cash that Eastern Conference feature that I got at the beginning of the year or the finals feature that I got at the end of the year. I really don't think it's happening. I'm not seeing a whole lot of value at minus 205 for them to win it by 2 games. So what I have done is nothing too crazy, but pretty much what I did is I put 0.25 units on 76ers 4-1 and another 0.25 units on 4-2. I do think the Wizards get this game, get a game. This is Russell Westbrook we're talking about. He is the most fierce competitor in the NBA this year. He plays every minute like it's a playoff minute. There are narratives you can throw around all year, but I don't think Russell Westbrook is going to let this team get swept. Unfortunately, as someone who's actually watched every Wizards game this season, there is absolutely nothing we can do to slow down Joel Embiid. It is going to be a disaster. Gafford has emerged very impressively, even with some really good game tape if you want to watch that Pelicans game where he had multiple blocks on Zion to close out the game. He's played real guys. He's showing his worth as a future, defensive staple in this team, but he's not there yet, and he's been really battled with the foul trouble pretty much every matchup we've seen so far. So I'm going to have to back away from that. I think Embiid hits at least 10 to 15 free throws. That's around what I've been projected at going close to about 33 to 35 points. The surrounding cast is there. Beal has gone off against the Sixers a couple times this year, but Thibault, Simmons, this defensive unit is really locked down, and when a team really puts all their effort on making someone else besides Beal beat them, it tends to work. I think we're going to see a much more efficient defense from the 76ers as opposed to what we saw from the regular season, which was a lot more fast and loose. The Wizards are going to try to push the pace. They're going to try to play this game mostly in transition, but I do not think it's going to happen, unfortunately. This hurts me to say, obviously, and hey, if they make it here, this makes my futures portfolio look a lot better. But I don't see a way that the Wizards can do this outside of Embiid getting injured. And at that point, betting on injuries is kind of ridiculous. Lastly, I just want to talk through a couple players' futures. This is honestly a great board right here. I haven't really done too much looking at this, but I mean, you got to kind of cut out LeBron, AD, because I think they're going on the first round, stuff like that. I do think it's kind of surprising to see a 13-1 on Harden and Kyrie. At this point, I know Kevin Durant, he gets all the attention, but Harden was having an MVP season before he got injured and sat out for a little bit. I think he's going to come back. I think he's going to put up some flashy triple-doubles. And for a Nets team that's favored to win it all, I don't think it's worth tossing down a couple bucks on Harden 13-1. I've been very impressed with what I saw, the way he facilitated this year and backed down from that volume scoring role. He understood his role. He understood he was the point guard here. He was going to make other guys' lives better, and he did it very well. So I'm a big fan of Harden, and I think there are a lot worse ways to spend a couple bucks on this 13-1 for a team that is favored to win it all. Appreciate you guys checking out. I'll catch you later.